Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of sgCarMart Reviews. Big shout out to GoPro for hooking us up with the GoPro Max camera. What can you tell us about the camera, John?
Okay, the defining feature of the GoPro Max is that it does 360-degree videos, so you can see two cameras here. What I like about it is when we are doing our in-car review, right? The front-facing camera has a screen here, so that when we are filming ourselves, we can see that whether the framing is correct.
John, that's the back. See the logo in front, yeah.
Oh, okay lah, front, the camera...
360,
yeah, 360,
yeah,
I can't tell the front from the back, but
okay.
it's actually very useful for us when we are shooting our videos, especially with the various accessories like the suction cup. We can mount it in the car, no problem, make mini adjustments. It's very convenient for us when we film. Also, we can mount the GoPro Max on our camera car so that we can take some sweet rolling shots of the car we're reviewing today.
Check that out later.
Yeah, cool.
All right, to the review.
This is the all-new Subaru Forester e-BOXER edition. What are your thoughts, James?
Okay, so this is not the same car that was featured in the 2020 Singapore Motor Show. The Subaru Forester Ultimate Customized Kit Special Edition, which also spells out, the acronym spell out too, Subaru Edition. Yeah, this is not the same car. This is the 5th generation Subaru Forester e-BOXER, and that's just a normal Subaru Forester, right?
Yes. And incidentally, the Forester that this one is based on is sgCarMart's SUV of the year for 2019.
Woo!
Yeah, so the differences between this e-BOXER and the SUV of the year is that it has a mild hybrid engine. And if we compare this to the previous generation Forester...
Which you drive, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so John drives a Forester as well, so he's the expert at this.
Okay, so looks-wise, this one has, I feel, a longer lower bumper. Mm-hmm. And when I first saw it, I didn't really like it. But after being in the market for close to a year, I think the look grows on you. In terms of the look from the back, the tail light for the new Forester is a lot fiercer than the old one, and I prefer the new one.
Okay.
Yeah. And Forester fans would be expectedly upset that the new Forester doesn't come with a turbo engine.
What does that mean for drivers though? Like, you're getting less power, but you're sucking up less petrol.
Yes.
Right? Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to review this car, John. Let's
head to the back.
Dive right into it.
The all-new Subaru Forester e-BOXER is priced at $124,000 and comes with a 2-litre mild hybrid engine. It produces 148 brake horsepower and 196 Nm of torque. The automatic CVT brings the car from 0 to 100 in 11.8 seconds. For more details on the Forester or any other car, head on to sgCarMart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car.
So before I pop open the boot, I need to tell you all something. So for the e-BOXER, right, the panel here will always be black. If it's the normal Forester, it will be the same color as your paint of your car. Like, for in this instance, the blue. All right, let's pop it open. Wow. Okay, so the automatic tailgate is actually one of the fastest tailgates that we've reviewed so far. Just saying. Okay, so this is 509 liters of boot space, which is really more than sufficient for your like grocery runs, your camping trips, your road trips, whatnot. Perfect for families. And let's see how it fits stuff in. Oh yes, and another thing, like without the load lip over here, it's very easy to slide things in and out, and you don't have to really just like overwork your arm muscles, you know? Great. Okay. And check in luggage. I think, yeah, maybe, wait, let me see. Oh, it does not fit. The anti-trolley. Wow. Okay, so, but I mean, of course, if you put it like that, it'll fit lah. But just in terms of length, it doesn't. Okay, still works. We have lots of other stuff in the boot as well. We have these two like levers here. If we pull it, it will just drop the back seats. With the seats down, you have 1,779 liters of boot space, I think. Close to 1,800 liters, yeah. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can hang your plastic bags. You can like hook stuff up so they don't roll around the back. And we also have a 12-volt socket here, which I always have no clue what is it for. It's a good boot, I like it. To the back. Right, okay, do you see that? Like, most cars, right, when you try to open their door, is like, at the maximum you can go is probably like here, right? And it's sometimes really difficult to bring in bulky items. But for the Forester, you can actually open the door at a almost at a 90-degree angle. It's amazing. So bringing in stuff like a child seat, a bulky child seat for example, is going to be so simple. I like it. Now in the back seat, I have no complaints. I have lots of leg room here, lots of toe room, a decent amount of headroom, and the big windows give me an added like, oh, this car is really spacious feel, you know, I feel very comfortable and relaxed in here. You have your pretty deep cubby holders, and check this out. We have 2 USB ports to charge your phone. Pretty functional, I like it. And let's pop down the armrests, and we have decent sized cup holders as well. Oh, one thing I dislike about the back seat is actually the ISOFIX points. So I mean, you're already carrying your like child seat, right? It's heavy, and you have to undo these Velcros to get to the ISOFIX points. It's a family car. It shouldn't be so hard to get to. That's just my opinion. And yeah, that's the general review of the back seat. So now let's check out how it fits 3 people at the back. Enter, my friends. Okay, so 3 people at the back, very comfortable. The middle hump thing is not that high, so you don't feel it, like your legs don't have to like spread apart that wide, and our shoulders are like just touching a little bit, but everybody's just like generally comfortable, and we're all big guys. Are you comfortable, man? Yeah. Are you comfortable?
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's good for a family car. Very spacious. I like it. To the front!
Right, to the front seat. Okay, first impressions, I would say that Subaru has tried to make this car feel a little bit more luxurious and premium. You know, got soft touch materials everywhere, including here, which is nice.
Nice!
There are your usual bits of black plastics. But I wouldn't say that the black plastics make this car feel cheap, because it's kept to a minimal, and every other portion of the car is nice and soft. Yeah, it doesn't give you the feeling that this is a luxury car, but neither does it make you feel that it's a cheap car. You know, I like the feel of the cabin. The seats, you know, they are comfortable leather seats. Nothing to shout about, but nothing to complain as well, because it cups you nicely. It has memory functions, electronic adjustments, so yeah, great creature comforts to have. The multi-function steering wheel is actually slightly smaller than my Forester, but I don't feel that's a problem. So the buttons on the left of the steering wheel control the instrument panels. There are 2. One here, it's quite small, it's flanked by analog speedometer and rev counter. It shows some things like your speed. More importantly is this instrument panel here. It has quite a few screens. This screen shows all the safety features that are currently turned on, such as the reverse automatic braking. So imagine if your car is backed up against a wall and you're ready to move off. Instead of putting it to drive, you put it in reverse. The RAB system will help you brake, which is good. Other safety features will be lane departure warning and pre-collision braking assist. All this is achieved by Subaru's EyeSight system, and the EyeSight system is also what helps you with your adaptive cruise control. Good stuff. It's camera-based rather than radar-based, and so one advantage of a camera-based safety system is that the cameras can recognize the shape and size of objects on the road, so it can tell if it's a car or if it's a human. So cool stuff. What I really like about the new Subaru Forester is the infotainment system. Finally, Apple Carplay and Android Auto comes to the Subaru Forester. And this particular infotainment system is good because of all the cars I've tested, this one was the easiest to pair with my iPhone. All I needed to do was plug in my iPhone. The infotainment system asked if I wanted to pair it with Apple CarPlay. I clicked yes, and on my phone another yes, and that's it. I'm done. I'm connected. In other cars, you had to fiddle around the menu, you know, to go and hunt for the Bluetooth or the wired CarPlay option to get it paired. Great stuff here. I love it. Subaru has a 4x4 mode called X mode. It used to be a button here. Now it's a knob and lets you select from a normal driving mode to dirt and snow to deep snow and mud. I guess they put it here to encourage you to go on some adventures with your Forester. The Forester unfortunately does not come with 360-degree camera, but that's not a deal breaker. It does have reverse parking camera and a side view monitor, so you can see the view from your side view mirror. It is very useful for when you are parking and parallel parking, so I like it. Two other functions that are great: auto vehicle hold, so when you are at a traffic light, you know, just press your brakes and then lift off. The car holds itself until you're ready to go when you press the throttle. I love that. And electronic parking means that there's no more gear lever. It means that what is in place of the gear lever are two cup holders and some storage here. Cool, I like it. Now let's see how this thing drives.
Okay, John, so this car is a mild hybrid car, right?
Yes.
And it's Subaru's first mild hybrid car that they've introduced into the market.
Yes.
So, what are some special features of this mild hybrid technology that Subaru is using?
Okay, I guess it is how they implement it. Their philosophy is that the mild hybrid engine should help fuel consumption and help the car power itself. So how they implemented it is they don't really give you the choice of turning the car on EV mode. So there's no button to force EV mode. And also another thing that maybe some people will dislike is that the start-stop engine thing, you can't turn it off.
I need it to be on. Like, suddenly the aircon just cut there, like wow.
Yeah, so it you have no choice but to do the start-stop engine. But compared to the previous generation Forester, where the start-stop engine is very abrupt. You know, when you start the engine, it really just like you start an engine and you move on.
Like
you can feel it.
and,
but for the mild hybrid engine in the e-BOXER, it's, I would say, rather smooth. If you didn't look out for it specifically, you wouldn't have known that, oh, actually the engine started. So
very seamless.
Yeah, it's very seamless. So that's good. And I think cruising down the highway, when you'll automatically go into EV mode sometimes to help you save fuel. So a good thing about this car is because it saves fuel, the fuel tank is actually 48 liters. The standard Forester's fuel tank is 60 or 63.
Yeah, usually 60.
Yeah, so you're actually pumping less petrol, but your range is about the same or slightly better. So in a way, this is, you save more fuel.
That's a good one.
For people who want to be more conscious about saving the planet. Yeah,
and saving money.
Saving money, more importantly. Yeah.
Okay, so how does this car perform? Like compared to your generation of Forester and now, do you feel a difference?
Okay, I have to say, because this is the mild hybrid version, there's a battery which adds close to 100 kgs. So getting off the line is definitely slower. I would say it's not as peppy as the older Forester or even the Forester that has no mild hybrid engine. But what you get in return is the electric battery helping the car save fuel. So at certain speeds, right, or when you put the car into sports mode, like I put it now, and what you get is actually the battery. You can see this gauge here. It shows 100%, right? It's like electric NOS.
Electric NOS.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like some F1 car where it builds up battery power and then you can discharge it at certain strategic points of the race.
Right.
So this is sort of like a bit shockness of the mild hybrid.
Seems like a fun car to drive.
Yeah, so you have to do some. Okay, so the difference when driving, right, is there's a lot more fiddling around the throttle. Sometimes when you leave your foot off the throttle, it goes into EV mode so that you know that you're not burning fuel as you're cruising along the expressway. So it kind of becomes a game, trying to make EV mode last as long as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, to save fuel. So in a way, you are more engaged with the car, trying to see where you can save fuel and trying to see where you can use electric power to aid your driving.
But as you're accelerating, can you feel the gear shifts?
Because this is a CVT, I would say that there's that rubber banding feel that you do get sometimes with a CVT transmission, but it is not. Ooh, that was the pre-collision braking helping us brake. Although I must say, I felt I was quite far away from it.
Really, man?
Okay.
I felt you were quite close,
Okay, so yeah, the EyeSight, it works.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah, it
scared
works.
me a little.
Yeah, it scared me too.
But we are alive because of EyeSight.
Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, John, so we need to test out the handling of this car. How responsive is the steering?
The steering is pretty standard. I wouldn't say it's like the most sports car like, but everything is smooth. You point where you want to go and the car just goes. Is it engaging like some sports car, like the Jimny? Actually, the Jimny is very fun to steer and throw around. I would say no, but it's in a way it's like what Julian says, numb.
Numb?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So this being a all-wheel drive, right?
Yes.
Can you actually feel the difference? Like the car's very grounded to the road, it's sticky, there's a lot of traction.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of all-wheel drive, right? You
So
get traction.
we actually need to test out turning a corner.
Okay.
So
we can turn into Singapore prison service.
No. Okay, let's test the cornering now. How's it?
It's okay actually.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, can you be a bit more
It's okay,
specific?
it's okay. As in-
It's okay. Hey, how's the movie? Oh, good lor. Like, okay lor.
No,
Like, lor.
I would say that it's not sports car planted. But because it's a SUV, there is body roll. But it's okay because the body roll is not fear for your life type of body roll that you're going to topple soon.
You can feel like it's very grounded lah.
Yeah. You can feel that everything is going to be okay, and I think that is quite good on the car itself lah.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay, like every other week we have will buy, won't buy, and go try.
Yes.
Do you have your answer, John?
Yes.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. Will
Go
buy.
try.
Go try.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So
You first.
Yeah, I was going, dude. Okay. So for me, it's a will buy because it's very simple. It's a great car to be in. It's comfortable. There's a lot of safety features and tech, and the interior feels very modern. And I just love the fact that it can still look adventurous, but it's actually a family car. Okay, so John, why go try?
Okay, I must put some disclaimers first.
Right.
If this car weren't the e-BOXER version, it'll be a will buy for me. For the same reasons why it is the car of the year. Value for money, great features, it's a great drive, it makes sense to be in it, great design. For the e-BOXER version, it is a very personal choice. If you are someone who likes to game the system to try to make the EV of this car last as long as possible to get you as much fuel savings as possible, you know, you'll find this car fun to drive. But there are also people who feel that, oh no, I can't make EV last as long as possible. It means I'm burning fuel. It means that I'm wasting money, and that stresses me out. These people will find the car very stressful to be in. So you have to go try it and to see where on the spectrum you fall under. I mean, personally for me, it is a go buy. But for our viewers, I think the e-BOXER Forester is something that you should go try to see if it's your cup of tea. So that was our review of the Subaru Forester e-BOXER, brought to you by GoPro.
Thanks, GoPro!
So GoPro was very nice to provide us this very good GoPro Max. It was very useful for us during our car review shoot.
You're using it right now?
Yeah, it's a very rugged camera for a very rugged vehicle.
Oh, that's a nice one, man.
Yeah.
Oh, also don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our channel. Big shout out to our friends sgC and Gable Lim for always giving us positivity and support in all our videos. We love you guys.
Don't forget to hit the bell notification icon so that you will be notified every time we upload something new.
And with that, till next time.
Bye.